is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And the natives are restless. I think that's fair to say. The natives are indeed restless. And what do I mean? Look, here in Doctor Who, we've had a bit of a strange time over the last few years. A new lady Doctor Who came about, and boy, did that not work out well, right? Really? Who knew? I thought it'd be okay. I really did. I really 100% thought it would work out okay. It's been awful. But I think the worst part of it, and we've said this many times over, are the awful, awful fans that brought with them right now. And I'm saying every fan of the current era is awful. I'm just saying the vast majority of fans that I've interacted with of this era are awful, are absolutely the worst people I've ever interacted with. Delusional, mean, mean-spirited, just the worst people possible. And they will absolutely scream that you're a bigot while they're the most bigoted people you've ever met in your life. So they're the natives. And boy, have they been restless for the last couple of weeks on the Twit-Twats. They've been acting up a bit. They've been very angry. They've been like, basically what's going on is this. The Jodie Whittaker Mandip Gill appeared at the London Film and Comic-Con Spring 2022 a couple of weeks ago. And this was a big gathering of Jodie Whittaker fans. There's lots and lots of Jodie cosplayers, and they all got together. The Jodie Whittaker was there. She charged a fortune, £220 for a bloody autograph and a photo. And the photos were flying all over the internet. They all post them. And Jodie Whittaker had this weird, pain, I can't do this anymore expression on her face. Mandip Gill seemed to get into it. Mandip Gill seemed to know what to do. But Jodie not so much, right? Not so much. This is basically their farewell to fandom, right? Their farewell to Doctor Who, and it's just failed in every way. And the more it failed, the more bile and rancor they have, right? I think it's a fair way of explaining. So they've been really acting up, right? I think because of that, it seems like a reasonable inference. But hey, it's the gift that keeps on giving. I found on Blogtowho, which is I would say an excellent website I go to a lot. There is two interviews. Well, one with Mandip Gill and one with Jodie Whittaker and Mandip Gill. And boy, they are long and they are a deep dive. They are like deep dive. We're going to go through them. I haven't read them. I'm just assuming there's going to be plenty of stuff to take the piss out of, right? I mean, really? How can there not be plenty of stuff to take the piss out of? If it doesn't work out that way, I guess, I guess I'll find something. Before we get into it, like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack, all those things are good. Please subscribe, that'd be fantastic. YouTube was really good about a week ago. Nice subs went through the roof, and then they realized they turned off the channel throttling, and I think they turned it back on, right? They put that brake on pretty darn hard. But yeah, God bless them. So if you're subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. If you're on Rumble, hit the Rumble button, baby. It's not very exciting, but it's just there anyway. Hit the Rumble button. And I look forward to a world where we're primarily on Rumble, quite frankly. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. And there's going to be a lot to comment on, right? There's going to be a lot to comment on. And I'm recording this on Wednesday. I've been really behind catching up my comments. I'm still 25 behind as of this morning. I will hopefully catch up today. And Substack, sign up my Substack. It's my email newsletter. I put out a bunch of comics on it. I got the original stuff I've done, like Ice Warriors. That's a great little strip. I really do enjoy that. Colorized for the first time. And Red Ghost, I'm going to put. I've been putting that out. I also put out classic strips, like some of the Blake Sale ones. That's things that are out of print. I saw they're doing a reprint of all the Virgin. Not the Virgin, all the Looking, I have something on my head. All the Looking Robin of Sherwood strips. I can't wait. I mean, I'm not going to get it. It's like £35. But I can't wait for them to start putting out stuff from Looking, right? Let's get some Sapphire and Steel out, which who was it? John Burns, J.M. Burns did the art. Just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, I have no idea how I got onto that. I have no idea. Oh yeah, out of print comics. So yeah, that goes there. I put out Virgin New Adventures in PDF form. Again, cool stuff out of print. It's all free, just free. There's also a paid one. I was going to put out my new comic on that, and I still am. I'm just so behind. I'm so behind getting it done. So what I've decided to do instead is NFTs. So NFTs are, if you don't know what they are, they're like unique digital files, right? So what I'm doing is I'm going to be doing. Playing like cars like these ones for the male gaze. These I did these. Oh, look at that! Isn't that gorgeous? The Forces female. Somewhat smutty. Genre-esque cards, but they're going to be digital, and each one is going to be unique to each user, right? So, this is kind of like a cryptocurrency, and people trade them and they make money with them. I don't understand it, but apparently it's a thing, right? It's a thing. I actually spoke to a guy who has a trading card company, and he says he reckons it's either going to be huge or the bottom's going to fall out of in 6 months. Look, I give you 6 months worth of stuff I can give you, okay, at the very least. But yeah, so I think the first one's going to be a very sexy M appeal. That I think that's what we're starting with. And as I said, each one's going to be unique to the unique and individual. And so the least of them are like the first month I'm only going to be doing however many subscribers I have, and then hopefully it'll grow. So the first set are going to be the most expensive, the most chaseable, if they work out to be a thing, which my son just insists they're going to be, and I don't understand, but he insisted. He okay. I don't know. I don't want to argue, and I like to give something of value. So there you go. Like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack. Let's look at this article from Blogtowho, the definitive articles, you might say. Yeah, I like Blogtowho. So this is an interesting one. Jodie Whittaker and Mandip Gill talk Doctor Who and beyond at London Film and Comic Con Spring 2022. There's nothing beyond for Jodie. Mandip. Look, Mandip's can probably get out of this, but there's nothing beyond for Jodie, right? Nothing at all. I mean, she's having a baby, right? She's having a baby. I think she's going to take a couple of years off acting, and then hopefully people will forget about Doctor Who. Jodie Whittaker, alongside surprise guest Mandip Gill, I thought she was supposed to be there, discussed their careers and their time on Doctor Who at London Film and Comic Con Spring last Saturday, 26th of February, at the Sold Out Talk. Excuse me. I saw the pictures, right? There was, 100 people there? Maximum? It would have been... They had whole conventions that filled up the Excel Center like less than 10 years ago, right? Before the incredible damage done by the Jodie Whittaker era. Sold out talk. Really? I bet they could have got a few, but it was sold out because they did it in a broom closet. Following the announcement last month, Jodie Whittaker made a worldwide exclusive convention debut last Saturday, 26th, at the London Film and Comic Con Spring, and she looked like she was hating it. Again, all the pictures that everybody posted, she looked like she was hating it. The event took place at Olympia, London last weekend, with a number of other guests from the Doctor Who universe making appearance. Most notable amongst these was, of course, Mandip Gill, Yasmin Khan, who made a European convention debut following her attendance at Gallifrey 1 in Los Angeles. And frankly, I would rather be in Kiev today. It sounds awful. That's absolutely awful. A few weeks ago, also joining her at the London Film Comic Con Spring were Dr. Sylvester McCoy and Colin Baker. Colin Baker, along with Christopher Eccleston, as one of the many people said, Jodie Whittaker is outstanding. Outstanding, the greatest, the bestest of the Doctor Who's ever. Really, Colin, which episodes were your favourite? Which ones? Oh, you haven't seen any yet? Oh. Yeah, your opinion might change if you watch some and are honest, okay? Former Doctor Who guest stars Sarah Powell, Johnny Mathers, I don't know Johnny Mathers, and Harriet Walter, I don't know who she is, were among others to attend. Whittaker's attendance attracted many Doctor Who fans. No, it didn't. Most cosplaying at 13, as well as other Time Lords and companions, made up a significant portion of the visitors on Saturday. Yeah, this was the big time for Whittaker. The event organisers, Showmasters, even held a meet-up for those cosplaying as the Doctor. Yeah, why not? I mean, look, they're there to service their bloody audience. Oh god, it's so embarrassing. You know, the people ask them to write things on their pictures. Like, so this person like had a thing written out that Jodie was supposed to write there and sign it, like, oh, hope and optimism and hope, optimism, some bollocks, I don't know. And they didn't write it. She's just like, Jodie Whittaker, and then they put the printout of what they're supposed to be saying as a post-it note. It looked awful. But okay. And then you compare it to like Peter Capaldi, who wrote sonnets to people on their on their pictures. Peter Capaldi understood what Doctor Who was. An enormous crowd. No, it wasn't. We've all seen the pictures. Crowd of fans gathered at the main staging, myself included, with the picture being photobombed by none other than Jodie herself. Hashtag Jodie our Doctor. Yeah, you can just see. This is it. This is all the Jodie Whittaker fans together, right? There's maybe 100, right? I was trying to talk to my daughter about how social media manipulates. She's not a kid. She's in her 20s, right? But how social media manipulates attitude. She said, "Listen, I see all these TikToks of people like supporting the Ukrainians, and the Ukrainians are doing well. Russia's I don't think Russia's doing terribly. I don't know if they're doing terribly in this war. I don't know it. I mean, I'm recording this on Wednesday. It's going out Friday. Who knows what's going to happen by then? But like, I don't know. I don't know if Russia's doing it terribly as they say. But basically, how it happens is this: let's say you have 1,000 people, right, and 50 of those people very much believe that Russia's losing this war, right? Russia's doing really badly. And you have like 400 people who go, no, Ukraine's getting pummeled, right? So what they do is they promote and they put forward those 50 people, and then they suppress the sharing of those 400. So the 550 people we got left are basically thinking, oh look, everyone's in favor, right? Because you have this small group acting like they're the big group, and the big group being suppressed. It changes one attitude, which makes the small group get bigger because it influences people's attitudes. It's basically what happened here. See, yes, a couple 100 people seems like a lot. Compare it to the millions, that were around. Again, do you not remember in was it 2013 the Excel Arena sold out for days and days, right? You couldn't get in there. London Film Comic Con rounded out the Saturday with a sold-out Q&A with Jodie Whittaker. This talk took place at the event's main stage and featured a surprise appearance of none other than Mandip Gill. The hour-long panel saw the pair speak about their early careers as well as their experiences working on Doctor Who. When asked how they first got into acting, Gill said that as a child she was a little performer, and she dreamt of being the first brown person in the bill. Are you out of your mind? The very pilot episode wasn't it about black people? There've been brown and black people in the bill literally from the beginning. What is wrong with you? Oh my god. Whittaker cited her love of creature features of the 1980s as fueling her love of cinema as a child. She described the amazement of learning that acting in a film like The Goonies could be someone's job. Listen, darling, you haven't acted in anything yet. We've seen you. You've been terrible. Jodie went on to speak about her early acting, including her first professional role in The Storm at the Shakespeare's Globe. She said that she felt very lucky to be given the role, after auditioning during her final term at drama school. She described the job as what dreams are made of. Yeah, okay. And the Globe is somewhere she met some of her closest friends. Well, I'm glad it worked out well for you. Following this, Whittaker was asked about experience of being part of Broadchurch, which is why we were inflicted with her on Doctor Who. Mando admitted having tweeted about the show whilst it was airing. Jodie highlighted the fact that viewers had to wait a week between episodes rather than being able to binge watch the series as a real positive. It was a real positive. Look, they really had that cliffhanger thing going. This was Chibnall's biggest success, by far. Only success. No, I think bigger success. As a real positive, she explained that it added the show's mystery and enhanced the genuine dropping moments. However, she admits she enjoyed binge watching things like Netflix's Russian Doll confessing, still there at 4 a.m. Is that Broadchurch? The Latimers? Yeah, that's Broadchurch, right? God, look at this like dour, scoury face. That's really in her wheelhouse, right? She can do mothers, she can do girlfriends, she can't do the Doctor. And before you call me a sexist, I've seen her do the Doctor, and that's why I think she can't do the Doctor. Whittaker continues speaking about how, while shooting Broadchurch, the actors themselves were deliberately kept in dark in much the same way as the viewers. That's Chibnall's MO, isn't it? She told the audience, without giving away any spoilers, that the filming of the second series, the rest of the cast hadn't interacted with a particular actor at all until he walked into the courtroom scene they were shooting, in which the character gave his plea. So the reaction was genuine. Yeah, that was like the guy they caught in the first season said he was not guilty, right? A discussion of a time in Broadchurch led Whittaker to admit to one of her pet peeves as an actor, which is people wandering. Can we get to Doctor Who already? People wandering behind the camera and moving in her eye line. That's your job, you arsehole. To be. Oh, that's literally your job. She joked that she would shout at the other people saying, get out my eye line, whilst while she was filming a scene. That's the director's job. Your job is to act. Okay. Jodie Whittaker spoke about her role in the Joe Cornish film Attack the Block. Yeah, that was good too. Again, she was not noticeable, so that helped. If you want to see something really excruciating, watch the Centrinians movie music video where she's dancing in it and she's so awful. Right, especially with the sound off. It's terrible. Jodie also spoke about her role in the Joe Cornish film Attack the Block. She described the script as nothing like she'd ever seen. Yeah, I understand. You don't understand science fiction, right? Oh, there's a monster in here. There aren't monsters in Clapham, really. Oh, I don't really understand. No, think of it like a giant bear. Oh, I know what a giant bear's like. That's going to be in London. Oh, it's scary, wary. And that was her process. That was her process. Whittaker praised Cornish attention to detail when it came to making the film. Yeah, we're gonna do like the monster being all monstery. God. As she storyboarded the whole thing. Well, of course he had. What? That's how you make movies, isn't it? Sometimes he even used the camera. Oh, hi, Icky Thump. She said that enjoyment of working out the box was enhanced by working with so many people at the beginning of their extraordinary careers. Well, your career's certainly been extraordinary. Mandip joked, I don't think it was a very witty joke probably, during the discussion of Whittaker's career prior to Doctor Who, that Jodie turns up a lot in unexpected films. Darling, I don't expect you anywhere. And I was like, what the hell is she doing there? Okay, what? For example, she only realised that in one day, then she got to the end credits. Gill, that's the thing that Jodie was in, not Gill, right? Yeah, I didn't know I was in that. Gill also spoke briefly about a guest role in an episode of Casualty. That is her acting level, right? When she filmed just before becoming part of Doctor Who, she recalled a crew member telling her not to go through a particular door as it led to the Doctor Who set. Oh, Casualty was on ITV. Okay. Mandip reflected that, little did she know, 7 months later, she'll be on the other side of that door. Yeah, well, it wasn't Doctor Who anymore when he got there. Following this, the pair wanted to discuss their time on Doctor Who. Finally! This is why we're here. Whittaker recounted how showrunner Chris Chibnall first approached her about the role over coffee while they both been promoting the third series of Broadchurch. I can't believe there was a third series. I watched the first episode of the second series. I'm like, yeah, I'm out. Goodbye. During which he asked her if you'll consider auditioning for the role that Jodie, would you consider auditioning for the role of the Doctor? Would you do that? Because what's the name? Your guest star said no. The star. What's the name again? The one from Peep Show. and The Crown. Whatever. Yeah, she said no. Jodie described the long auditioning process she went through, as it should be. They had to make sure I was the absolute worstest of people. Absolute anywhere. There's so many qualified people they turned away. It really should be, which really put her through her paces. Wait a minute. If the audition process put her through her paces, why did we not see her go through her paces while she's making Dr. Bloody Who, right? That would have been helpful. She also admitted that even now she still doesn't know what she was up against for the who she was up against for the role. Anybody else would have been better. Like, okay, Jodie, your goal is to be better than this tub of lard. Okay, here's a tub of lard, and now your goal is to be better than it. Oh no, she can't do it. Both actors recalled the initial chemistry reading they did together. Okay, from which point they immediately knew they'll be the bestest mates ever, and they'll scissor in the TARDIS. This led to them discuss the chemistry between themselves and the two co-stars of the series. Tolson Cole and Bradley Walsh very wisely jumped ship the first freaking moment they could. Mandip noted that she and Tolson already knew each other prior to joining the show. I met him before. He's a person. And he's not a white person, so he must be a good person. And Bradley Walsh, who is a white person, but I think might be a good person too. Honestly, I after you're watching this video, go and Google Kamala Harris, the Vice President of the United States. She talks basically the same way Mandip Gill does. Like, she was talking about the Ukrainian thing, and she said, can you explain it? And, well, there's a country called Ukraine, and another country called Russia, and Russia's bigger than Ukraine, and they've invaded, and that's just wrong. And that's literally how the Vice President of the United States described this greatest conflict since World War II, right? That was the intense geopolitical analysis that she had. They pretty worked together on Hollyoaks. Hollyoaks is where you should be, darling, right? You should not be anywhere above Hollyoaks. Hollyoaks. She also confessed that she hadn't known who Bradley Walsh was before joining Doctor Who, and instantly told him that, you're so funny, you should do comedy. I mean, really? That's kind of like the Matthew Waterhouse story where you talked in Making Kinder. There was the guy who played the older commander in that, who was one of the first people to go bonkers. But was apparently a huge radio actor, and Matthew Waterhouse was like, "Oh, you should try a bit of radio." He's like, "Oh," or he gave him like acting tips or something. Like, just really cringe, really super cringe. Gill and Whittaker both spoke fondly about their time working with Walsh, in particular with Mandip joking that we all called him Dad. Oh God! Again, that's the Karen level of humor that we have. Right? Exactly. They record his immaturity on set and how he did. Hope he didn't get his dick out and start waving it around. That'll come and bite him in the arse in a few years. And how he distracted them on set by juggling, or pretending to fall downstairs, saying, "Hey, we had never laughed so much." Really, oh, God, they're just so ordinary and dull, right? It's just, however, they both acknowledged Bradley could nevertheless turn it off and be serious when the situation called for it. I don't think we ever saw it call for it. Jodie recalled her first week on set. Okay. When asked about her first week on set on Doctor Who, Jodie told her attenders that the first few days on set spent filming the climactic scenes of the season 11 opener, Woman Who Fell to Earth, which took place at the top of some very cool cranes. I think it took place at one very tall crane, didn't it? Not a bunch of them. But okay. Both actors recalled how cold and windy the conditions were at shooting scenes. Oh, it was terrible. The wind was blowing, and sometimes it rained. Can I get my paycheck now, please? With the crew members having to throw towels up them so they could dry off. I guess every story is boring. We got wet, and so you know what happened? They gave me a towel. So I could dry off. I mean, that's the story. Oh my God! Oh, I don't know if I'm going to get through this article without succumbing to terminal boredom. They gave it down. Mandip admitted she didn't quite feel like she could complain as she was so new to the job. Well, really, that's a smart idea. So she maintained in the moment that everything was just fine. Everything is awesome. Yeah, okay, that's good. Jodie and Mandip reflect on their experiences on Doctor Who. Can I reflect on my experience on them on Doctor Who? Okay, let me just get that out of my lap. Jodie and Mandip were asked about the scariest interaction with the monsters during the tension. They pointed to the weeping angel. Oh, they're so scary, wary, as being so terrifying. They wish they'd been added in. They wish they'd been added in using green screen instead because they're too scary. What? What? I think really. Oh, can you put them in green? I know it's going to cost a lot more money. It doesn't really make much sense, but I'm a bit scared of the person wearing a costume. Okay. And they wish many use green. Both simply described how scary the dregs, who appeared in season 12's Orphan 55, despite having spoken to the actors playing them between takes. Okay, firstly, the dregs looked awful. Secondly, Orphan 55 was awful. Was one of the worst episodes in a litany of awful episodes. And thirdly, do they know this isn't real? Like, she's not really Doctor Who, right? And it's no real. It's like this is all pretend. There's a man. They took. I don't understand. I literally don't understand how they're scared of the dregs after speaking to the actors in between takes. Like, how is that possible? That's doing my head in, mate. Okay, that just does my head in. I thought this would be funny. This is just painful. Okay. Asked to speak about their final day on set. It was really strange. Everybody was dancing and having a party. We don't understand why. Were they all Doctor Who fans, Jodie? Yes, they were. Mandip confessed she didn't cry. Oh, I didn't cry. I'll confess too. I didn't cry. That's not something to be proud of. Oh, I didn't cry. Oh, I didn't poo myself. Oh, well done, darling. Instead, Jodie cried for her. I bet she cried a lot. The crew applauded them. Oh, just go away. Just go away. Applauded them as they entered the TARDIS for the last time. And believe me, we're all going to applaud. They also joked that once the camera stopped rolling, they tried to steal bits off the set as keepsakes, asking the crew, what are you going to do? Nobody wants anything, okay? There's no keepsakes. Just take it all. Just take it all. They described the Doctor Who set as a wonderful place to work that made relentless garbage, and spoke about how much the cast and crew had gone through together. We've recorded some of the absolute worstest episodes of all time, and we're still friends. I don't like the bigots saying they were the worst episodes of all time. They just were the worst episode of all time. And particularly during the pandemic. Oh, we had to wear a mask. Oh, so super scary. Oh, my God. Essentially, this war in Ukraine is being driven by moral panic. Like, the Russians are evil! We gotta stop the Russians! They're evil! Now, which, I'm not arguing with you. They may be. Doesn't seem the Ukrainians are that much less evil, right? To me, I don't know. It seems like they have an equally corrupt and unworkable totalitarian, government regime. But this is the third moral panic we've had in 2 years. The first one was the Black Lives Matter, George Floyd riots and stuff. Second one was COVID, right? Now, I want to ask you, we're at the end of both of those moral panics, right? And are the things we know now are the same as the things we believed going in? right? This, like, lockdowns are basically useless and didn't do anything. The vaccine didn't really work. I mean, it didn't stop. Was it infection rate? It just didn't really do much, right? And natural immunity from Omicron was the thing that basically got rid of COVID. But what got rid of it most was the polling, that people were pissed off and they couldn't take it anymore. But honestly, and Black Lives Matter. I really, do you still think they're a meritorious organization? Seems to be they're a deeply racist socialist organization that absolutely hates the Western world. And believes a bunch of stuff that isn't true. But again, at the beginning, if you say George Floyd, when he died, did he die of a overdose of fentanyl? Well, there was a lethal dose of fentanyl in his system. When he died, that seems to be the. But again, you're not allowed to say these things then, right? You weren't allowed to say that Carl Rittenhouse wasn't a white supremacist. You were not allowed to say it, right? So now we got the third one, the third moral panic, and I don't believe anything anymore. I'm sorry. So yeah, we all got together during the pandemic. We all suffered. Yes, we all suffered because absolute idiots controlled the world. Everyone worked their butt off to keep it safe. It was safe! Okay, apparently it was all totally safe. Masks didn't do anything. The data hasn't changed. Apparently it was like, here in Israel, we still got the sodding mask we got to wear when you go inside a building. Jodie admitted how strange it was not to be able to hug everybody goodbye. Meanwhile, people were like crossing themselves and singing, was it Hosannas? Oh, thank God, she doesn't do so on me. But one of the saddest things I saw about COVID was this video from Disneyland where this little kid sees Winnie the Pooh and goes, runs up to Winnie the Pooh, right? And then a Disney employee like jumps in front and says, don't touch Winnie the Pooh, you'll die. I mean, essentially like that. Well, they're going to keep it safe, but apparently it's safe anyway. Jodie said not to hug everybody due to the COVID restrictions in place at the time. Nevertheless, Mandip and Jodie reported there was a lot of snot and tears on the last day of set. Ooh. Darling, that sounds like a porn set. It sounds like, isn't the carpet going to get very sticky? Whittaker and Gill on leaving Doctor Who and what's coming next. Rusty Davis in Doctor Who, but real Doctor Who. Both actors were immediately asked if they had any regrets about their time on Doctor Who. I have nothing but regrets about their time on Doctor Who. I imagine you feel the same. Whittaker immediately replied, "Oh, Eki thought no." Gill recalled, "No, I enjoyed destroying the beloved national institution. It was nice, and we broke the glass ceiling. We also broke the floor and all the walls as well. There's nothing left." Yeah, well done, darling. Gill recalled her recent experience at Gallifrey One in Los Angeles, where she met mentally ill people, apparently, saying how shocked she was to find out so many fans from all the world watched the show. You've been in it 5 years, darling! Really? Really? I mean, yeah, look, I understand it's not that popular now. It was pretty darn popular before you rocked up, honey. I mean, like, really? Okay, I mean, it really does. Do you normally have action figures made, of things that aren't internationally successful? No. Okay, wonderful, whatever. God, she's so dumb. She's so amazingly dumb. It blows my mind. She didn't entirely know what she was getting herself into, still doesn't. Just that she was in for a great time. Oh, trip of the lifetime, unless you're watching it. Jodie, meanwhile, discussed the roles of Doc says, the biggest wonderful gift, yes, that you didn't deserve. She pissed all over constantly. She said said how wonderful it was to be part of something that's so much bigger than you. Well, again, I don't think you're really that much part of it. You're about to be forgotten forever. And it had been wonderful to be in it, but not the biggest part of it. You should have been the biggest part of it. You were the Doctor. She said meeting other doctors had made her feel part of a lovely little club with her immediate predecessors, Capaldi, Smith, and Tennant, having given her some advice. before she was announced as the 13th Doctor. Like, nobody knew how awful it would be. Again, could you imagine going back to the beginning of COVID, right, and saying, oh, lockdowns are going to have absolutely no effect. We shouldn't do them. Yeah. I mean, really? Yeah, I mean, hindsight's 2020, baby. All three actors told her the time will go fast. It dragged like hell. No, it dragged and dragged. But she for having the time of her life. Oh, Wiki Thump. Advice which she has wrong. Very true. I'm glad you had a good time, darling. Asked if she had what she planned after Doctor Who. Okay. My guess is not much, right? Do you think they're lining up? Do you think they're lining up to employ her now? Whittaker gave her very 11th Doctor-esque response saying, I'm cooking, which received a huge applause. Okay, what does that mean? Conversely, Mandip confessed that her life hasn't been nearly as eventful of late, saying that she'd been spending time relaxing, attempting to cook, but not like that. I think she's talking about being pregnant, maybe? She said that she'd been auditioning, but also spending a lot of time staying in a flat because I didn't get many auditions because they saw me in Doctor Who. It was strange. She joked that it was part of payback for having spent so much of lockdown on set rather than at home. So basically, she's saying she's unemployable, right? At this point, she's complete. Okay, well done. Did they talk about a bit of Thasmin yet? Because they do like Thasmin, don't they? Jodie and Mandip discussed their costumes on Doctor Who. Oh, God, okay. Please tell me more. Following... okay, look how awful this costume is and this acting going on within the costume. If you're not looking at camera, there's a picture of Jodie Whittaker on screen. No, if you're not looking at the screen, the picture going to get fine. Following, Jodie was asked to speak about her costume of the Doctor. She described the process of creating it as a huge collaboration with costume designer Ray Holman. It was a process which went through a lot. And there was nothing accidental about it. Oh, you mean that rainbow across your chest wasn't accidental, like you kept telling us? It doesn't mean anything. Yes, it does. She said. The same was true about the other costumes we've seen the 13th Doctor wearing over the course of the last few series. They've all been basically the same. You had the Spyfall costume and you had the black coat. Basically, they're all the same. Jodie revealed that a more formal ensemble she wore for season 12 Spyfall was a homage to similar outfits she wore as Anna in the 2016 film Adult Life Skills. You don't have many, darling. No, it was David Tennant's tuxedo they were trying to do. She also noticed that the bright colour of a prison boiler suit in 2020 Day of the Darkness was her own choice. Well done. I'd be like, what do you want, a cookie? I said we should do bright red. Oh, that'd be nice. Bit of bright red. Okay. Oh, God, this costume is so awful. Like, it's just so awful. However, Whittaker did confess that some aspects of her costume that she was struggling with, like it was shit, relentlessly shit. One of these was the scarf she wore, and it really, I mean, that was the thing she wore in the 2019 special Resolution, which made her wonder how a previous Doctor were able to keep up so much scarf maintenance. It was so hard, it kept flopping around. She also admitted she regret about her regular costume was how cold she was in it. They could have lined the bloody coat with padding, couldn't they? Jodie described the coat as paper thin, and she would always wear additional thermals under her clothes wherever possible. Well, why was it never? It would always be possible. You could always wear thermal underwear, right? I used to quite like that when I lived in England and when it was cold. I like the thermals. Additionally, she said that sometimes she regretted not choosing full-length trousers as part of the costume. I hate those trousers. Those color. Yes, your ankles don't look great, darling. Okay, it's not good for you. It's not a good look. Admitting that she'd sometimes only shave part of her legs that were visible. I don't want to hear about Doctor Who shaving their legs, okay? God, is that such an insane demand? I don't want to, like, Tom Big, I had to shave a bit of my legs. Off! Ah! Mandip, on the other hand, said a priority when putting together her costume was warmth, saying, yeah, you got to wear normal clothes that were not in any way appealing. Yeah, it didn't make you look sexy in any way, darling. She wore heater socks while filming in the cold Cardiff weather. Well, aren't you special? Both actors recalled the police uniforms they wore for a scene in Once Upon a Time. God, that was a terrible episode. In which the characters find themselves trapped in past memories. Whittaker and Gill revealed that they filmed themselves in their uniforms doing a slow walk to the theme tune of the Bill. Okay. We can only hope the rest of us get to see that on video someday. Nah, I'm fine. I'm cool, baby. I'm cool. I don't need to ever see that. Okay. I don't need to ever see any Doctor Who again. So on their favourite guest stars, Jodie and Mandip also spoke about the variety of guest stars they worked with throughout their time on Doctor Who. Whittaker highlighted Stephen Fry, who played the M16 head C in Spyfall. Okay, I don't know why it's called C, but okay. And one of the guests she was excited to work with. Oh, what? The greatest living Englishman, right? You were happy to see him, right? Okay, who does see that one coming? Gill joked that Jodie would follow him around, asking for a cup of tea. Both actors also recalled how much they enjoyed working with Kevin McNally during Flux. Killed off in such a crazy way. What the best character? I mean, a good character. Why? Because it's played by a good actor. Same with Bradley Walsh. Throughout which he played Professor Eustace Jericho, describing him as so cool to be around, unlike Jodie Whittaker. Lastly, they spoke about John Bishop, who joined the show on the previous series as companion Dan Lewis. Weird companion Dan Lewis, who is like lives alone, has a weird love life, doesn't have any food in his fridge, doesn't seem to work, and is a fake tour guide. Like, there's a lot weird going on with Dan that they didn't explain at all, right? They'll probably explain it in the centenary special, maybe, or they'll just forget about it. Joined the show, and Dan Lewis and how well they got on. Whilst on set of Doctor Who, they said that as a fan of the show, he was so excited to be there. Yeah, you're not that much of a fan. You hadn't seen it. You didn't know what garbage you're getting into. Although you did know it was garbage enough that you turned it down at first. He couldn't believe I'm there. It was more like he said, I can't believe I'm here. Really? My career's come to this. They also recalled how people of all ages would constantly recognise John wherever he went, much like previous companion Bradley Walsh, without knowing who either of them were. Well, okay. Doctor Who will return in Legend of the Sea Devils. Again, it's a Chinesey one because Asian hate being created by Biden administration, apparently. Finds Jodie Whittaker, Jazz, Mandip Gill, and John Bishop in the 19th century China, where they small coastal village under a threat from the fearsome pirate queen Madam Ching, with Crystal Yu, and monsters and a monstrous alien force she unwittingly unleashes. All the Doctor, Yaz, and Dan emerge from this swashbuckling adventure with sea devils to save the planet. Well, yeah, that's probably the point. Oh, God. And they didn't talk about Thasmin, which they are so freaking proud of. Every given moment they go, that was our idea. We saw how much people like Thasmin. I thought, we'll do more of that. Icky thought, more Thasmin, please. Yeah, no, I guess they're going to talk about it at the centenary one when they go, it was so important. It was so important to be stunning and brave. Brave and stunning and brave. Okay, and then I got another interview with Mandip Gill, but it's even longer. I guess I'll do that next week sometime. There you go. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin. You are Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. This was crazy. Like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.